Hi everybody, welcome to this Verbling class with me. My name is Amy and today's class is a reading class where you'll get the chance to practice your pronunciation with some reading, as well as hopefully expand your vocabulary a little bit, because we're going to be reading about the world's most visited cities. So I'm wondering whether you might be able to guess which cities are in this article. You can cheat and have a look because I've attached the link to this class description, so if you want to check that out before we get started, then do go ahead. While we're waiting for our students, let me just let you know about a few things that can help you here on Verbling. So there are 2 pages that you might like to check out when you have a few spare moments in your day. These are the Verbling Teacher Facebook page, which is the first of the 2 links there in the chat box. And the second is the Verbling Teacher page, which is the second of the 2 links. So the Facebook page is a really good way to keep in touch with other students, but also with the teachers here on Verbling. And if you're a person who likes to go on Facebook quite often, then do follow one of the teachers, one or more, because it can keep you kind of in the loop with English learning and keep your brain focused throughout the week. The teachers often share what their classes are that are upcoming, some resources or fun stuff that they find. So it's a good way to keep in touch with us. If you would like to find out more information about one of the teachers in particular, you can check out their Verbling Teacher page, and what you'll find there is both the calendar for upcoming classes as well as private tutoring sessions. A class is what we're in right now, where up to 9 students can participate, and private tutoring is where you can have a session with just you and the teacher. So if you have a specific goal that you want to work on, or something that you really want to just have the whole teacher's attention focused on you, then it's a really good thing to do. The calendars for both of those are on the Verbling Teacher page, as well as information about all of the teachers, and a messaging feature which you can use to ask questions or get in touch with us for any reason. So do go ahead, if you have time, have a look at those links. And we're going to go and say hello now to the students. Who do we have today to talk about the world's most visited cities? All right, I'll say hello first of all to, who got here first? I think it might have been Marcos. Hello, Marcos.
Hello,
Nice to meet you. Where are you from?
I'm from Brazil. Nice to meet you too.
Excellent. What part of Brazil are you in, Marcos?
I'm near the capital, Brasilia.
Mhm.
It's called Goiás, a state called Goiás, and the city called Anápolis.
All right. Is it a big city?
Not so much, but not so small as well.
Sort of medium-sized.
Yeah, kind
All
of.
right. And what is the best thing about your city, would you say?
Hard to say. Well, it's kind of boring here.
Oh, great.
So I would say we have the movie theater.
Mhm.
That's basically it. There's not
All
much.
right. So how do you entertain yourself, Marcos? Do you just go out with your friends?
Sometimes, most of the time I spend my spare time on the internet,
Hmm.
watching stuff,
Studying
practicing.
on Verbling?
Yeah.
All right. Well, it's lovely to meet you.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming to the class, and you're going to be having a chance to practice your reading and speaking today, so good to meet you.
All right.
Franz. Hello, Franz.
Hi, Amy.
Have I met you before, Franz? I don't think so.
Yeah,
We
twice,
have?
and yeah, and both time I had some trouble with my computer, but now I got a
Oh,
new, but now
but
I
that,
got a
that
new, but now I got a new one, so should be fine for this time.
excellent. That's great news. All right, that's probably
Uh,
why I don't remember clearly. So tell me a bit about yourself, Franz. Who are you? Where are you from? And why are you
yes,
studying English?
yes, I'm originally from Switzerland, Zurich, but now I'm living for the last 1.5 year here in Brazil,
Hmm.
living and
That's
working
right.
here.
I
Yeah,
remember
can
you
you remember?
now.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yes, and I'm studying English because I need that for my job, but I also like the language, English. Yeah, it's for hobby and for business together. Yeah,
Excellent. All right. Well, it's great to actually get to talk to you a bit more today, Franz. Let's hope that your new computer is going to be great.
hope so.
Welcome to the class.
Thank you.
Okay, Mary, how are you doing today?
Teacher, I'm doing great. Thank you for asking you.
Yeah, I'm very good too. Tell me some news, Amari. What's happened in your life in the past 24 hours? Anything exciting?
Hmm. I don't have a plan. I don't know. Sorry. Can you repeat your question? I'm
Yes.
eating bread right now, and you make a question. Oh my gosh.
I just wanted to know if you got any news, Amari? Has anything exciting happened to you since I saw you last?
No, no. Just my family in the end of the year coming in Mexico to visit me.
That's right. I remember you saying. So you're kind of looking forward to that, and it's keeping you going.
Yes, I will go with my family in Cancun in South Mexico, and I will be there for the second time. I love it there.
All right, I've heard a lot about that place. I think quite a few people from the UK go on holiday there. What's the best thing about it? Why is it so good?
I like to stay on the beach, so I like to know people, to talk different languages there because there are a lot of tourists.
Mm.
Uh, and the most thing I love to visit there is the Pyramid of Mexico.
Ah, okay. So kind of like history. Is that part something historical? Can you describe what that is?
Pyramids like how can I say?
This, right?
Oh yes, pyramids. It's very nice because you can learn about the history about Mexico, about the old people were living there or something like that.
Yeah. Actually, that's something that really, really fascinates me about really the whole of Latin America, Amari. I'm really interested in that history of, I don't know, when the Spanish and Portuguese came over and the civilizations that were there before. It's like sad, it's a bit crazy, but it's kind of fascinating at the same time.
Yes, I agree with you.
All right, Amari, it's pyramid with the emphasis on P. Okay?
Okay.
Pyramid. Because, yeah, otherwise it sounds a bit strange. All right, great work. Good to have you. Who do we have here again? We have Aldona.
Yes, teacher, I'm Aldona.
Nice to meet you, Aldona.
Nice to meet you too. I'm from... Yes?
I was just going to ask you where are you from, but you're already going to tell me.
Yes. I live in Poland. I'm from Poland. And I study English to know something more.
Excellent. Are you doing it for fun, or do you have to do it for your work?
No, just for fun.
All right, excellent. Well, it's lovely to meet you. You may be my first student from Poland, Aldona. I don't remember another Polish student. Yeah, so far. Tell me about your picture. Is that a dog? I can't see it very clearly.
Yes, it's my dog.
Oh, and where are you? On the beach?
Yes.
Is he a puppy or is he just a small dog?
Just a small dog.
All right, I'm a big fan of dogs. I don't have a dog myself, but I do like them. So he
How
looks
that come?
cute. Pardon?
How that come if you're a fan of dogs and you don't have one?
Because I travel too much. That's the problem,
Ah.
Aldona. And I can't keep leaving him behind or everything. So I decide when I finally settle down, if that ever happens, then I'll get a dog.
Okay.
All right, welcome to the class. And Raphael, how are you doing today?
Hi, Amy. I'm fine. Thanks for
Excellent.
asking. And you?
I'm very well, thank you, Raphael. I'm going to ask you a different question today. Have you had a look at the article that we're going to be reading yet?
About
The world's
cities.
most visited cities, yep.
No, I haven't read it yet.
Alright, in that case, if you had to guess which cities are in this article, what would you guess? What do you think the world's most visited cities are?
Well, I don't know, famous cities in Europe like Milan or London or maybe Barcelona or maybe some cities in Asia like Tokyo or Beijing or Sydney, Australia, New Zealand, Auckland, I don't know.
You're guessing very well, Raphael. You've got a couple of those, I have to say. Just want to ask the rest of the class, what guy, if you had to say the number one, or maybe the top two, what would you say, guys? Let's see what Aldona thinks. What do you think the most visited cities are, Aldona?
Don't know, but there is some mention in the chat box.
Cheaters.
Yes, I would add Madrid. Tokyo in Japan. Mexico.
All right, good choices. Let's ask Franz. Franz, what do you think?
I'd say the two most with airplane traffic. So I would say New York and London.
All right, very good. That's like a very logical way of doing it. Okay, most airplane traffic. I like it. Okay, Marcos, what's your opinion?
I'm sorry, could you repeat the question?
Yeah, just guess. We're just having a guess. I'm not guessing because I already know. But what do you think the most visited cities are? The cities that people visit most in the world?
Oh, well, probably New York. Yeah, New York, I guess so, because it's quite famous.
All right, very good. And last but not least, Amari, what do you reckon?
I don't know, but maybe 1 or 2 years. I want to go to live in Italy, Rome, because my grandma was born there, and I think it will be a good experience to live there.
All right, excellent. Okay, let's actually take a look at the article, guys, and see which cities. Now, obviously, this is a kind of very changeable topic, to be quite honest with you, because it depends who's doing the research and who's rating it and all that. So we'll find out the details. If you'd like to access the article yourself, then just click on the link there in the chat box, and I will share my screen. All right, so there's some nice photos that you feel free to flick through when you have some time of some of the places. And we're going to start reading. So I'll let you know how this class goes first of all. I'll get you to read a paragraph or two. Because there's 5 of us today, we might get to read a little bit more at a time, which gives you a bit more time to get into the flow. Just take your time and see if you can do your best ever reading. And then at the end of your section, I'll let you know if you've mispronounced anything, and give you a little bit of feedback on your reading, and then we'll take a few moments to just discuss the vocabulary to make sure everybody understands what we're talking about. And we may pause to chat about various topics as we go along. If you have any questions, then just say so, please, at any time. And we'll get started with the lovely Aldona. Aldona, would you mind reading the first paragraph? I'll let you know when to stop. I'll zoom in a bit. There we go. So,
from the same attractions?
Yes, please, Aldona.
The same yes?
Yes, this part here.
Okay. The same attractions that prompt people to love visiting a city, top-ranked restaurants, vibrant nightlife, diverse neighborhoods, iconic sites, can entice them into staying longer term. In fact, many of the world's most visited cities, as ranked by 2014's MasterCard Global Destination Cities Index, released in July, are also popular destinations for expats.
Keep going, please.
Related article, living in Istanbul. But being a resident of one of the world's most visited cities is not without its unique set of challenges. Coming from a smaller city in Canada, I was overwhelmed by how crowded certain areas of Paris were, said Erica Balavi, who moved to the City of Light from Calgary, Alberta, 7 years ago. When I first moved to the city, I made the mistake of choosing an apartment right beside the Arc of Triomphe. No matter what time of day of which month of the year there were so many tourists, it was a nightmare getting on the nearby metro. Still,
Yep,
it
one
does
more.
not. Okay. Still, it does not take residents long to learn how to navigate the crowds and find secluded spots. We talk to expats and natives to learn what it's like living in most of the world's most visited cities and the secrets to steering clear of the constant crowds.
Beautifully read. Thank you very much. All right. So Aldona, I've just got a few words to go over with you. The first one is this one, entice. Entice.
Entice. Entice.
Yep. Emphasis on the second syllable there. And the other one was expats, if we can find it. There we go. Expats.
Expats.
There we go. Perfect. Beautifully read. Lovely accent. Just all that you can do to really improve a bit more, Aldona, is to try and vary your intonation a little bit, sort of phrases and sentences. That's all I could suggest. It's very difficult to do that when you've never read something before, though, so you did a great job. Well done.
Oh, thank you.
All right, so any questions about what we've just read, guys? Do we have any questions
Yes,
about vocab?
yes. Yes, I have four words that I don't know the meaning of that. The first one is iconic.
Huh, okay, let me see if I can find it.
At the second line.
Yep. Iconic. Who knows what iconic means?
Well,
Or
something
can have a
that
guess?
has some special characteristics.
Yes, absolutely. What's an icon? It comes from the word icon, right? It's an adjective. So what does icon mean?
Like it's symbol.
Like what, sorry?
Like a symbol.
Yes,
Like,
okay, that's true. An icon, if you're talking about computers, an icon is like a mini symbol, right? A little picture that you can click on, perhaps. But in a wider sort of context, does anyone know what we use the word icon for? If somebody's an icon, what do we mean?
It means that the person is a celebrity.
Yeah, that's absolutely right. And hi to you, David. Yeah, so they're successful, they're admired, they're probably a celebrity, absolutely. It doesn't have to just be for people. So sites, like very famous places to visit, for example, can be icons, like the Eiffel Tower.
okay.
All right, another word?
Yes, entice.
Entice. That's a good one. Where was it? Here we go. Who knows what entice means?
Entice is like, for example, I see in the store a new computer. It's very interesting to me. So I want to buy it. So it's entice me,
Yes.
something like that.
Absolutely, great example, Amari. So yeah, it means something along the lines of attract, or it's a bit stronger than attract. It sort of means attract strongly. If something entices you, then you really, really want to buy it or eat it or do something to it. Okay. So you could use attract as a sort of a synonym there. Any other questions about vocab?
Oh.
All right. Well, thank you for the first section done. Aldona read beautifully. Amari, it's your turn to read. We're going to read about London, first of all.
Okay, London, Great Britain's capital, came in as this year #1 most visited city, with 80.7 million international tourists estimated to arrive in 2014. Mastercard combines tourist board statistics, flight schedule, and expected passenger loads to project the year's arrival. London native Sophie Loveday said she hardly notices the influx. You just get used to so many people being around. She said, uh, "It's noise that connection, teacher. Sorry.
No problem.
I don't know why. I don't. It's what gives the city such a buzz.
Great. Thanks, Amari.
The noise is like a train. Is the train? I don't know, or something like that.
That's all right. It was very atmospheric as we were reading about busy crowds, and then we heard this kind of beeping noise. It sounded like, you know, it's like a documentary, Amari. It's great. All right, Amari, could you keep on reading with even so, please?
Yes, teacher. Even so, she said she always tries to avoid the West End's Leicester Square because
Yeah.
the pedestrian plaza is too commercial, with or without tourists. However, she will brave the crowds of Covent Garden, a shop district in the West End, thanks to its quirky shops and hip vibe. East London's Brick Lane is also a must-visit, despite being having full of people. The neighborhood's Indian curries are considered among the best in the UK, and the restaurants and the food stalls make finding a good meal easy.
Great reading, Amari. Thank you. All right, a few words to go
Okay.
through. So we'll go back to the first paragraph first. All right, this is when we read out numbers with this dot here, we usually say point. So 18.7 million.
18.7 million.
Perfect. Well done. All right, this one's tricky because it's got lots of T's and S's. It's statistics.
Statistics.
Excellent. All right. What else do we have here? This one, you've pronounced it good, but I just want to verify. This can be pronounced schedules or schedules. Okay. And then this one is influx. Do you want to repeat that one, Amari? Influx.
Influx.
Perfect. All right, you did well with. Oh, that's a tricky one, even for if you don't know about the UK. This one here is quirky. Quirky.
Quirky.
Yep. And last one is heaving. Heaving.
Heaven.
Great. Excellent. All right, well done. That was great reading. And we'll look at the first paragraph, well, this paragraph here, first of all, guys. Any questions about vocabulary or meaning or grammar?
Yes, I do, Amy.
Yeah, go ahead.
Just a little question. You said that we can speak schedules or schedules.
Yeah.
I never heard schedules. Can I really everywhere speak like that?
Yes, it tends to be people who are slightly posher say schedules. That might be why you've never heard it. But yes, it's possible to say schedules, although I personally say schedules.
All right.
Any other questions? No? Okay. As you can see, this is a picture of Trafalgar Square. And the other place that they talk about is Covent Garden, which is this one here. So has anyone here been to London before?
No.
Nobody? All right. Well, if you one day go, I would recommend that you go to Covent Garden because, as this article says, it's really interesting. Trafalgar Square is kind of an icon, but there's not much to do other than go, wow, I'm in Trafalgar Square, and take some photos, so it's not particularly exciting. Let's have a look at the second paragraph here. Any questions about this paragraph, guys?
Yes. What is this quirky shop?
Good question. This is a great word, quirky. What does quirky actually mean, anybody?
Peculiar.
Yeah, exactly. Peculiar is a great synonym. Slightly unusual, something like that. So not just regular stuff, but slightly unusual products, shops, and kind of atmosphere, which is another word for vibe. Any other questions? No? Okay, excellent. Let's carry on reading. And it is David's turn to read from To Escape the City.
Okay. To escape the city. Loveday travels to the southwest suburb of Richmond. You can see deer running through the park or take a boat down the Thames River, she said. Then finish the day off with a meal at a waterfront pub like the Bavarian Beer House Staines or the popular restaurant Gaucho, which serves Argentinian food and wine aimed cowhide fabric furniture.
Keep going.
Okay. Related article, Living London. There are no shortage of neighborhoods called districts to fit and vibe. Loveday lives in the southwest district of Tooting, which she loves for its multicultural vibe and influx of young professionals who keep the area lively. She also recommended Angel in northern London due to its cool and friendly vibe.
This author loves the word vibe. Have you noticed? All right. Great reading, David. Let's just talk about a couple of slightly trickier words, if I can find them. Here we go. Amid.
What amid means?
Good question. What does amid mean? Anyone know?
Among?
It means among or in the middle of. Yep.
Okay, what is cowhide fabric?
Good question. And there you've pronounced it correctly. So yeah, if you have a look, it's made up of cow and hide. So what is cowhide or any other animal hide?
Horse hide? I don't know.
Yes, I think you could say horse hide. Does anyone know what hide means in this context?
Is like a skin?
Yeah, exactly right. It means skin. Thanks, Amari. So the furniture, David, is covered with cow skin, right? To give the kind of cowboy type feel, because I believe that gauchos are like cowboys in Argentina.
Okay.
One more word was this one here, David. This is shortages. Shortages.
Shortages.
Yeah, perfect. All right. Anyone want to ask anything else about the vocab?
What is shortages means?
Okay, good question. What does shortages or a shortage mean?
For example, okay, go ahead.
The lack or something.
Yeah, exactly. Thanks, Aldona. Is that what you were going to say too, Amari?
Yeah, something like that. For example, I wanted to drink a water, but I don't find water in my place. For example,
Mhm.
so it's like escassez or something like that. I don't know in
Yeah,
English.
yeah, no,
Sorry.
that's a great example, Amari, because we usually use that word with water. So if there's a water shortage, it means there's not enough water. It hasn't rained enough, or I don't know.
Yeah.
Usually it's a case of a drought, right? So it means a lack, as Aldona said, or not enough of something.
Okay.
Any other questions? No? Alright, before we go on to Bangkok, I just want to ask you guys about the places where you live, because I think it brings up some quite cool things to talk about. So what we've got basically is the first thing is Trafalgar Square, which is like a sort of a landmark or a site. So I want to ask you guys if you can tell me, if I visit your city or your town, what landmark should I definitely see? So I'll ask Aldona first of all.
Well, in my city, I would recommend you to see the center.
Mhm.
My city is called Wrocław, by the way,
Mhm.
and there are some museums,
Yeah.
restaurants with good food, and zoo.
And a zoo?
Uh-huh. Yes.
Oh, really? Wow. And sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you there. Is there a good place? Like the second thing that was mentioned about London is Covent Garden, which is like an interesting place for shopping. Is there an interesting place for shopping in Warsaw?
I think yes. You could find some interesting place to do shopping. There are lots of galleries.
Okay, it sounds very interesting. All right. Last thing would be to escape the city, Aldona. What is there somewhere nearby or near the city, but where you could go if you wanted to relax a little bit? Where would you recommend?
I would recommend you to go to the seaside.
Uh-huh. How
It's
far?
some 3-4 hours going by car.
Mm-hmm. And what kind of sea? Where would I be? What seaside is it? What sea is it that I would go to?
It's Baltic Sea.
Okay. And what's special about it? Anything?
Just atmosphere of the beach.
Yeah, a different atmosphere.
Yes.
All right. Very nice. That sounds beautiful. Let's ask Franz. Franz, I want you to tell me a sightseeing location, a good place for shopping, and somewhere to relax in your city or where you live.
Yes, I'm living right now in Brazil, São Paulo, but I don't know all too much here. But when you will go to Zurich in Switzerland, I would definitely suggest you to go to the old town, so you can see the old churches and old streets. Very um, old. No, it's a while ago there. Then I would say to go shopping, you need to go to the other side from Zurich. There are some new shopping centers. Not that big like here in Brazil because shopping centers are real big here, but they are fine. They have some daily departments that you can get some special things.
Mm-hmm.
And then to relax, I will definitely say go to the mountains and have some fun skiing or do snowboarding.
All right, that sounds awesome. I'm heading to Poland via Zurich, I think. All right, one more. I'll ask David. David, tell me a sightseeing location, a good shopping place, and somewhere to relax.
What?
What I'd like to know, David, is where do you live again? Can you remind me?
I live in Brazil,
And which
next to
city?
São Paulo. Next to São Paulo, a small city next to São Paulo.
So you live kind of in the countryside?
Oh, it is not country. It is a city, but
But
I
it's
don't
not.
know. It's not. I don't know. I don't know how you call in England. London is a huge city,
Yeah.
but there is small cities around London.
Mhm.
These cities have malls, have
Like a village, I think. I don't know.
Okay, so let's go over some
a
vocab.
village. A village. I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, I think a village is a lot smaller. So a village would literally be a few houses and maybe a couple of shops, right? Then if you go up one level, you get to a town, which is considerably more shops, and a town can be quite big. A city, I'm not entirely sure what the definition is. I believe it actually in the UK traditionally had something to do with a cathedral. Like if it has a cathedral, it's a city, and if it doesn't, it's not. And that might be old something I'm just remembering from nowhere. Basically, a city's bigger than a town. So it's really up to you whether you call it a city or a town. London or some places in the UK often sometimes called conurbations. It's like when there's more than one city kind of rolling into each other because there's two cities joined up, which could be descriptive of Sao Paulo. I'm not too sure, but I would say a city or a town, David, would be okay for your
Okay.
area.
Yes.
So if I came to
Because
visit you, yeah,
yeah, there is industries and many things. So
Yeah.
it is not a small city.
All
It is a
right.
big city, but it is not big as São Paulo
Yeah,
and
okay,
Rio.
yeah. All right, so if I came to visit you, David, would you recommend I go to Sao Paulo, or would I stay in your city and would you tell me what to do there? Is there anything interesting to
I
do?
recommend you stay in my city.
Okay, and what should I do?
Well, I don't know. Maybe you could like to visit the industries that we have here.
Mhm.
I don't know. Maybe you could be like to visit the airplane industry and and the institute that has forecast provisions. I don't know.
David, little question. From which city do you come from? Which
São
is
José dos Campos.
how is the name of your city?
São
Just
José
wondering.
dos Campos.
Okay, all right.
São José.
A big for industry. Yeah, that's right.
Yes.
All right, David, that was interesting. Thank you for sharing that, because it's sometimes nice to hear about some other places, you know, not the main capitals that everybody's heard of. Okay, I'm going to ask Franz if you can read about our second city, which is Bangkok. Please, Franz.
Yeah, sure. Bangkok, due to political protests and the Thai government shutdown in 2013, Bangkok slipped to number 2 in this year's global ranking. Yet it's still expected to draw 16.4 million international visitors in 2014. Thankfully, residents say the influx of seasonal, with most visitors coming November to February. Kitsara Choksmay, a Bangkok native and tour director for Thailand's Smart Tours, said they especially find the city pleasant from June to September. It's our rainy season, so not many tourists come to visit this time of year. she said. But since it usually does not rain all day, locals can still join being outside.
Excellent, thank you. We're going to turn the page, and I get you to read one more paragraph, if you wouldn't mind, please, Franz. Here we go.
Despite its reputation for wild nightlife, Bangkok also has its fair share of quiet space for people to get away. Locals often seek peacefulness in one of the city's many Buddhist temples, such as the old town's Wat Phra Kae, considered the most sacred in the country to its 6.6-meter tall Emerald Buddha, carved from a single piece of jade. Lumpini Park and Benjakhiti Park downtown can also be peaceful escapes, aside from early morning and late afternoon, when they tend to be popular with joggers and yogis.
Great reading. Wonderful, Franz. Thank you. A couple of words in this paragraph I just want to check out. This one, don't forget just to pronounce the S's at the ends of the words, okay? So spaces.
Spaces.
Yeah. This one is Buddhist rather than Buddhist, okay? Buddhist.
Buddhist.
Yeah, and last one, sacred.
Sacred.
Great. All right, we're going to flip back. I just want to check that everybody understood everything in the last paragraph before we switched pages. So just take a look, guys, one more time at this paragraph at the bottom. Does everybody understand all the vocab in there? Yeah? All right, that's great. In that case, we'll... Do you have a question, Aldona?
No.
Okay, just checking. All right, we'll go to the next page. And just double check that we all understand the second paragraph that Franz read so nicely. Any vocab here, guys?
No.
All right, well done, everybody. Great work. Okay, who's been to Bangkok? Has anybody been to Thailand?
No.
No, I must say I have never been to Thailand, even though it's quite a popular destination, especially for New Zealanders and Australians, because it's actually not that far away from us. But it's always been kind of like one of those beach type of places that I imagine you go if you want a tropical paradise holiday. Is Bangkok on anybody's must-see before I die list? Does anyone desperately want to go to Bangkok?
Bangkok not, but Thailand, sure, yes.
Yeah, which part would you prefer to see, Franz?
I don't know, but I just heard that Bangkok is like São Paulo. I don't know, a lot of people on the streets.
Yeah.
Mega traffic jams and stuff like that. So, but I heard the same way that Thailand must be very, very nice to go there, very pretty.
Uh-huh.
So I would say Thailand, yes, but not Bangkok.
Yeah, I must admit, Franz, I have to agree with you with that one. It surprised me, actually, when I read this, that Bangkok, actually, usually, I think, or in the past few years anyway, has been the most visited city in the world, but only because of the politics that has occurred in the recent months or last year has it changed. Because it's probably not one that I would have thought of necessarily. But possibly for all these holiday makers, maybe they go to Bangkok and then on to some of the Thailand's islands. Who knows? All right, it's time for Marcos. If you could read about Paris for us, please, Marcos.
Okay. Paris. The French capital is expected to attract 15.6 million of visitors in 2014, many of whom are drawn on its iconic landmarks, including the Eiffel Tower, Notre Dame, and the Louvre. But those some icons are exactly the areas that locals generally avoid. There is no amount of money you can pay me to go to the Champs-Élysées in the middle of August, since Christina Tubb, vice president of a French technology firm who moved from US in 2009.
Keep going, please. Still.
Still, when she does visit the tourist destinations, she knows the local secrets, like getting a friend's season pass to hop the line at the Musée d'Orsay, or using the secret entrance at the Louvre at the Porte des Lions. I'll still bite the bullet and do a lot of touristic things because it's half this reason I live here, she said.
Thank you very much, Marcos. That was stunning reading. You have a very, very nice kind of American-esque accent, and that was just beautiful. So well done. I have no comments to make on that. Anybody have any questions about vocab? So we've got 2 paragraphs. Check this one out first, guys, and then I'll move down again. Any questions in here? No? Good. What about this second paragraph that Marcos read to us? I just want to mention this one. What does it mean to bite the bullet?
To go through something maybe bad.
Yeah, very good, Franz.
When you have, for example, an exam, a final exam, you probably will need to bite a bullet to go through and get a nice mark.
Yes. So, sorry, didn't quite catch that example. If you what?
For example, a final exam in a school.
Yeah.
Then you will probably need to bite a bullet to get good marks.
Absolutely, yeah. So that's a great example. Basically, biting the bullet is exactly what Franz just described. It means that there's something difficult that you have to do, but at some point you just have to bite the bullet, or you have to face it, go through it, just deal with it, cope with it, something like that. All right, Raphael, would you continue reading from Well Crowded, please?
While crowded in the summer months, the Latin Quarter also had its fair share of restaurants, refuges, if you know where to go. Refugees, if you know where to go.
Refuges,
okay. There are certain streets that can be very touristy, but right around the corner there will be a restaurant or cafe that is considered an institution of the neighborhood and hasn't changed its menu since the 20s, said Bellevue. Both Tubb and Bellevue also frequent the maraes of its specialty shops, where, Bellevue said, the charm outweighs the streets of the crowds.
Thanks, Raphael. Could you carry on for us?
Despite its size, each of Paris' 20 arrondissements, municipal districts, have a neighborhood feel. Once run down, the 10th arrondissement in the city's northeast is now undergoing a revival, attracting a young crowd with its hip bars, art galleries, and tree-lined Canal Saint Martin. The 3rd and the 9th also attract Bohemian residents. Those looking for something quieter can explore the 50th, a residential area just south of the scene which is home to upper middle class families, or the 16th or 5th, which are known for
Oh, I don't know. We lost
having particularly good schools.
I lost your last 3 words for a minute there, Raphael, but great reading. Raphael, you read with beautiful expression, so if you're struggling a little bit, just follow Raphael's example, because what he does is he takes it nice and slowly so that he can sort of work out the meaning before he speaks, and therefore when he reads it makes perfect sense. So well done, Raphael. just a couple of words that got you stuck on. This one's a bit confusing. This is actually refuges, the plural of refuge. Not anything to do with, well, okay, it is something to do with refugees because it's a similar meaning. But what's the difference between those three words? So we've got refuge, refuges, and refugees.
This refuge, so does it mean a particular area inside the restaurant where we can, I don't know, is that?
Yes, yep, you're right.
Yes.
Yep, am I right?
Security party into a restaurant or something like that.
Yeah, so a refuge is basically somewhere safe, right? Somewhere you can hide away. And what it really means is that everywhere is so busy that you might feel tired and you want to go and have a relax. So there's a lot of restaurants that you can use as if they were a refuge, somewhere safe. And then a refuge, so refuges is plural of that word. And then what's refugee? What's a refugee?
I would say.
Go ahead.
The people.
Yeah, exactly. It's a person who's seeking safety by going to another country because of war or something in their own country. Okay, so that's quite a good one to get into your vocab lists, guys. Raphael, there's one.
And about, sorry,
Yeah?
just a question. And about a person who get into this refuge,
Mm-hmm.
is that a refugee or no?
No, because a refugee is only used in the context of somebody escaping persecution. So the word refuge can be used to talk about anywhere that feels safe. So it's a lot more versatile.
Okay.
I'll just put in the chat box, if you want to take a look at those words, the capitalized syllables are the ones that you need to emphasize because it's quite tricky, that. Raphael, this word is stress. Stress.
Stress.
Yeah. I don't know why you mispronounced that. I think that you were just concentrating on your intonation. And then
I'm stressed.
It probably is because you're stressed. The second paragraph, this word trips loads of people up. This word is canal. Canal.
Canal.
What is a canal?
A small river?
Yeah. There's something specific about it, though.
Sorry?
I would say canal is something made by a human being
Yes.
with cement.
Absolutely. That's the key thing. Thanks, Franz. To be honest, right here, guys, in this context, I'm not sure, because this may be just the name of a street. I don't know if it's a canal, but because this is a word that's often confused, I thought I'd bring it up anyway. A canal in English is a man-made river. It's sort of like a river. The important thing is that it's man-made. It's not naturally occurring. Any other questions about vocab or parts of this last two paragraphs that we read?
And about tree-lined. What does that mean?
Tree-lined. Anyone know?
They use trees to create this canal.
Yeah, it's almost there, Raphael. If it's a tree-lined street or a tree-lined river or something tree-lined, it just means that there's trees along it. Tree, 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 basically. So imagine a road and trees along either side. It would be a tree-lined road. I might see if I can get you a picture of that, because it's a bit hard to describe. And since we're almost at the end now, let's just, there we go. That's easy. Oh, it's a bit of a small picture, but can you see how the trees go down either side?
Okay.
That's tree-lined. I'm trying to think if we use that lined with anything else, but nothing springs to mind. Alright, so if you had to choose out of those cities, you can go to London, Paris, or Bangkok. which one would you choose? Who shall I ask? I'll ask Aldona.
I would choose Bangkok because I've never been there,
Mhm.
and I'd like to see this traffic and those people going out and there. And of course, I would go to the beach, right?
Definitely.
Yes.
All right, so Bangkok for you, Aldona. What about you, Marcos? Which one would you choose?
London.
Okay, why?
Yeah, I always wanted to go there.
Mhm.
So,
Is there something particular that attracts you?
well, the big eye, the big band.
Mhm.
Uh,
The sights, right?
yeah, and to learn a little bit about the culture.
Mhm. Okay, excellent. So Marcos votes for London. Amari, where would you go?
Paris, because I think the language there it's amazing. It's a romantic language. I think I will be enjoy if I can talk French.
Absolutely. Will you take your girlfriend, Amari?
What?
Would you take your girlfriend?
Oh, a lot of party there.
All right. David, where would you pick?
I don't know, maybe London too.
Any reason?
To visit you.
Ah, well, David, that's such a nice thing to say, but I'm not actually in London, unfortunately.
Sorry.
That's okay. But you get all the points of the class just for sucking
Thank
up.
you.
No. Franz, what about you?
Because I already was in Paris, and probably when I go back to Switzerland, will be very close to London. I would say Bangkok because it's the most far away city from my tour.
It's the furthest away.
The furthest away, yes.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, definitely. There's something to be said for going somewhere a long way away that's totally different, I think.
Yeah.
Raphael, you're the final word. Where would you go?
Well, I've been planning to visit London for 5 years, but I haven't had the opportunity yet due to some reasons. I choose London.
All right. And why do you want to go there? Is it to see the sights?
To see the sights, actually, as a hitchhiker, I like to walk a little bit and just without commitments and staying in a single place. I'd like to put my backpack and travel for especially London, England in general, and in Scotland. I'd like to visit there.
All right. Well, thanks everybody for attending. It's interesting reading about other cities and hearing about your places where you guys live as well. If you're interested in practicing some writing, do come along to my next class, which is starting in a couple of minutes. I always think writing is a really good way of practicing some of that language that's kind of on the periphery of your brain that you sometimes forget to use when you're speaking. So it's quite a good thing to do to practice a bit of writing now and again. And our topic today is just some fun writing topics. So random topic choices that are interesting or fun or slightly light-hearted. I try to make my writing classes light-hearted. If I don't see you again today, well, I hope to see you again soon at some point, and good luck with the rest of your studies, and have a great weekend.
Have a great
Thank
night.
you, teacher. You too.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.